I don't know the IP address, but I found the name is just DCS red flag, all one word. Are you talking about for the SRS?
No, I'm trying to get Klaus onto the correct SRS server.
It's probably because it's paused.
Well, not just SRS, but lot ETC and everything else. Like, it's a different server this time than what it was last time.
I have. Okay, here's the IP address. You ready?
No, I got it to him already. We're good.
Cool.
Is it just me or the Vipers to our right not have landing gear down? Just floating in the air. Oh, never mind. They just disappeared.
I think weird stuff is happening because of the pausing.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
I am in the back seat.
I am in the front seat, but there's just nothing we can do right now.
And I'm assuming these are hot starts.
Yes, sir. I'd imagine. Once it unpauses, everything will wake up at once.
Anything critical that you took away from that you wanted to ask questions about?
I don't think so. I think I asked all the questions that I had before the brief, honestly. Um, I didn't have any questions. I just realized I'm gonna have turning following radar on the majority of the flight. And when we hit each steer point, I'm not gonna let the autopilot like drift us around to the next one. I'm probably gonna disengage, turn direct near steer point, and then re-engage the turning following radar. Um, Trying to think of anything else. When we get to the leg before the IP, I'm gonna try and see what I can do as far as getting a mapping, but that's not necessarily a high priority unless you really want it.
No, bro. We're gonna swag it and make it work. I'm
Okay.
doing the calculations so that I can get the desired TOTs like individual for us. Yeah, the thing is, when we accelerate to 600 knots, it's only for two legs. Once we hit IP inbound, it drops back to 540.
Yep.
So just be aware of that.
Yep. My main focus is flying the aircraft and dropping two bombs. I'm gonna juggle what I can, since we don't have a flight lead, but that's all right. But that's mainly why I'm going to have terrain following radar on, so I can take some of the weight off of me. It does a really good job at not hitting things, so that'll be helpful. I'm just getting all my knee boards set up and such. As far as comms go, are you comfortable doing comms, or do you want to kind of juggle it? Whoever has the most weight can. What do you want to do?
There should be minimal comms, but I can handle it if you want me to.
Okay. I didn't think there'd be much, because once we're down on the ground and flying around, we won't be talking much. Oh, here we go. Give me 2 seconds to fix my SRS. The buttons are wonky. Radio check, radio check, radio check. Can you hear me on intercom?
I got you loud and clear. Can you hear me on intercom, hot mic, or no?
Negative. Negative.
All right. Can you get me on? Can you get me on hot mic when I'm pushed to talk?
I got you now.
All right. That's with push to talk. All right.
I'm on hot mic. Interesting. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to be off of SRS while I rebind. Alright. I don't know what SRS is doing right now, but I can only do radio 1 and intercom. I can't do radio 2. So
So it looks like Radio 2 is our inner flight. It's just us. So voila.
cool.
Bummer the hot mic doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal
But
is.
I got you hot. That's for sure.
Oh, am I like bringing everything in?
Oh yeah, you're blasting, bro. We're good though. I can control the volume for that.
Interesting. All right.
Double flight check. 2. Cowboy flight check. Cowboy 1 flight check. 2. Cowboy 2 flight check.
We gonna wait till everybody else says they're ready to go, or do we want to taxi to EOR and hold?
We can taxi. I'm not quite ready.
We are pretty damn close to the end of the runway. So.
Flight check.
Y'all, rate.
Ready to check? Sounds good. We have a ground, right?
Hey, does IFF work now? Like on the you see it on the upfront controller.
I turned our mode 4 on. Yeah.
Wow, I've never seen that before. It's usually just being it off.
Well, that's because I'm magic.
Oh,
I'm utilizing the mode 4 in SRS. So
Cowboy
I set our mode 3 to 1200 and our mode 4.
2.
I see.
Dice 2-1 radio check, now it's ground. Dice 2-1 radio check. Devil 1 has you on me, Charlie. No, it's ground, Dice 2-1. Has ground, Dice 2-2 radio check. Loud and clear. That was ground, dice 2.
And then our altitude hold is 19,000. Just verifying. Okay, I'm set. You still getting me loud and clear?
Affirmative, like loud and clear.
I don't know what to do to change that.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, man.
Is that any better?
No, it's me needing to be able to adjust the ICS volume back here.
Oh, okay.
It's not you, it's me.
Alright, well, I'm set in the front.
I'm gonna change radio 2 just to monitor strike.
Okay.
Apparently right now people are calling in the blind for ground and ground's not responding, so Klaus is probably having issues with us or else getting connected.
Gotcha.
Nels ground, Cowboy 1 flight. All stations starting service on ground. Nels ground, Devil 1 is ready to taxi. Devil 1, ground, taxi via Foxtrot, Alpha, hold short, runway 03 left. Foxtrot Alpha to 03 left, Devil 1. Ground, Cowboy 1, ready for taxi. Cowboy 1, ground, taxi via Foxtrot Alpha, hold short, 03 left. Fox Alpha, 03 left, Cowboy 1. Nels ground, Dice 2, ready to taxi. Dice 2, taxi via Foxtrot Alpha, hold short, 03 left, Sonaki ground. Dice 2.
Nels ground, Cowboy 2, ready to taxi.
Cowboy 2, Sonaki ground, taxi via Foxtrot Alpha, hold short, 03 left.
Taxi to 03 left via Foxtrot Alpha, Cowboy 2.
Nels ground, Cowboy 3, ready to taxi. Cowboy 3, Sonaki ground.
Are you good at taxi?
03 left via Foxtrot Alpha, hold short,
Yep.
03 left.
Everybody's gonna hurry up and wait, so if I call the taxi, we're still gonna be number 15 to take off, so...
Yeah, we'll sit here for a second.
Nels ground, Gorilla flight.
We're not gonna need to take gas on the leading in, so...
Last
it's
call
not a
taken.
huge deal.
Yep.
Gorilla 1. Gorilla 1, Sonaki ground, 03 left, taxi via Foxtrot Alpha.
We should have plenty of gas.
Taxi Foxtrot Alpha, holding short of 03. Double 1, contact tower 327.1. Cowboy 1 for rest push.
Holy shit, look at the F-10. It's a conga line.
Yeah, I was looking out in front of me, all the F-16s, and there's some F-15s in the front. Everyone was like, I'm ready to go.
contact tower 327.1.
Whatever you're doing right there is wrecking my ears.
My fucking VR just shut off. Nope, we're back. Yeah, it's me. It's that. Yeah, that's my VR creaking and stuff I was adjusting. But I'm not taking the VR off anymore, so.
Mills ground dice 2 holding short runway 03.
I'm so, I don't know what to do. I checked SRS, and the hot mic feature is turned off.
Dice 1, contact tower 327.1.
So I don't know what to do.
All good.
Nose ground, Cowboy 3, Foxtrot ramp, ready taxi.
Last call, confirm call sign Chief 2.
Chief 3, ready taxi.
Chief 3, 03 left, taxi via Foxtrot Alpha, hold short, runway 03 left.
Foxtrot Alpha, Chief 3. Ground, Cowboy 2, hold short, runway 3 left.
Cowboy 2, push tower 327.1.
327.1, Cowboy 2.
Ground, Cowboy 3 ready in sequence, hold short 3 left. Cowboy 3, contact tower 327.
Is it just me, or do you find it funny that all the F-16s, which are tightest on gas, are the first ones airborne?
Yeah, I know. I was wondering about that too. I'm like, why? I think we should be up first. Speaking of which, the conga line's ending, so if you want to make the call.
And
Yep,
Gorilla,
I'm waiting for these guys to pass us.
Okay.
Nellis ground, Chief 2, row 15, ready to taxi.
Chief 2, Nellis ground, taxi via Foxtrot Alpha, hold short runway 03 left.
Copy, Foxtrot Alpha, hold short runway 3 left. Chief 2.
All stations I totally identified as Naki. Please disregard that and forget about it.
Didn't happen.
Exactly. Gorilla, push him down. 3.367.
Alright, so I got the targeting pod fixed, I've got the armament verified.
Cool beans.
Chief 2, push tower 327.1. See ya.
Over to tower, Chief 3.
Huh?
You can still hear radio too, right? You just can't transmit?
I can hear all radios, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a keybind issue.
Hold short to dash line. Great, there you go. Nellis Tower, Chief 2 on Alpha, holding short, 3 left. Ready for departure.
Was that the wrong radio?
Nellis Tower, Chief 2 at Alpha, holding short, 3 left. Requesting departure. Nellis Ground, Chief 2, can you confirm the frequency for Nellis Tower, please?
Yes, tower should be 327.1.
Copy, I'm not getting a response on 3271.
Stand by.
Nellis Tower, Chief 2 on Alpha, holding short, 3 left. Request departure. Nellis Tower, Chief 2 on Alpha, holding short, 3 left. Requesting departure.
Chief 2, got you Lima Charlie. You are cleared for takeoff runway 03 left as fragged, altimeter 29.901.
29.901, clear for takeoff, 3 left. Chief 2. Let's do it.
Cool. Alright, gear up, flaps up.
doing the frequency switch. See you. Blackjack, Chief 2, climbing 215 for 19.
Chief 2, Blackjack, contact bullseye 12267, gotcha 15. Blackjack, Chief 3 with you, crest alpha check bullseye. Chief 2, Blackjack, alpha check bullseye 10772. Chief 3. And Chief 3, be advised, I'm marking 3 who's leading.
You're blowing our altitude, we're at 20.
Blackjack, you're broken, second. I've got 2 Chief 3-2s on my scope, who's in the lead? Chief 3-1, Roman, lead contact. Blackjack, copy.
Is Marshall point at steer 3 or steer 4?
I believe so, stand by.
Blackjack Devil 1 is going to elevator down to our block 10 to 11.
Blackjack.
Yeah, we're block 1819, so just drop it down to 18.5 and
Okay.
slide on over to steer 4.
I was just trying to meet the Mormon Mesa. It says no lower than 19, but I'll drop to 18.5.
He briefed it once you hit 19, just proceed direct, so
Cool.
we'll be off the Mormon Mesa and proceed direct.
Blackjack, this is Gorilla Flight, 2 times F-18s, checking in 64 miles from Waypoint 4.
Gorilla 1-1, Blackjack, contact bullseye 097 for 74.
All flights be advised, the Marshall limit line is about 15 miles to the west of steer 4 of the hold point. So you can be a little bit west of the hold point, but try to have all of your hold be east of steer 4.
Cowboy 1. Cowboy 2.
That was interesting.
Cowboy 3.
What, that stutter there?
Yeah.
Yep. was hoping it wasn't just me.
Alright, did you hear that last call?
Yes. About the Marshall limit line?
Dice 2. Chief 3.
Yeah, my ship back here is not working the way I anticipated it would.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm trying to change course and heading and shit, and it's not doing jack. I
Hmm.
wonder if it's because we're in nav mode.
Maybe? Nav mode should work though.
Because when I type on the UFC, you know, and then try to attach it to the course, it doesn't go, it just flashes at me.
Blackjack Cowboy 2 descending to altitude block 13.
Do you
14.
need to select heading? Hang on, give me 2 seconds to switch. Alright.
I'm just trying to help you, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you need to select. Yeah, if you select heading, then you can change the course. And you can do that whenever you want. In the HSI.
Okay.
Yep.
Blackjack Dice 2, we didn't copy down our altitude block. Could you hand that over when you get a sec? Dice 2, you're 11 to 12. 11 to 12, Dice 2.
And Blackjack, you pass the same for Cowboy 3.
3, you are 15 to 16.
Cowboy 3.
Double 1, Blackjack.
Go for double 1.
You want to load to full?
Yeah, A firm.
Roger.
So can you pull up the data page?
Can you give the lowdown just before the roll call, actually?
Roger, I'll do it 2 minutes before.
Data page and then what else?
Good with me.
Tell me what time your digital clock says right now.
7:32 and 50 and counting.
I think we might actually be synchronized on the clock then. Sweet.
Between the front seat and the back seat, yes, but not with like the actual time.
So what is the actual time then?
It is midnight 33. So the analog clock is showing it. And then referencing that with the F10.
Well, that just says that the clock, excuse me, it's 12:33, and that means that this should be showing Zulu time, 07:33, right?
Oh, well then yeah, that would make sense. That's awesome.
Or was Zulu supposed to be 8 hours? I can't remember.
Can't remember either. I'm trying to see. Zulu time is 8 hours. I'm looking now. Mission start, Zulu time is 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I wonder if they factored in daylight savings time for that, as far as the date in the mission, you know?
Yeah, I have no idea. You got me all excited about the digital clock. Were you able to get the course line and all that set up? The CRS? I mean, working?
Ish, yeah.
Okay.
All I did was change the heading bug for you.
Okay. Oh, just for the Marshal, I see.
Blackjack, sit rep. Group airborne, bullseye 291, 42, 26,000. Northeast, southwest, 2 contacts, bandit. 6, active, bullseye 019, 42, 349, 69. 11's asleep, bullseye 344, 24. 296, 111. 256, 34. Box spring active, bullseye 004, 47. And Chief 2 Blackjack, it just turned 4 minutes before bolt.
Chief 2.
Alright, once I hit steer 4, I'm going to turn right. 090. Start the 1 minute leg.
Blackjack roll call on strike.
Devil 1.
Dice 2.
Cowboy 1.
Cowboy 2.
Chief Cowboy 3.
Block Cowboy 3.
Cowboy 3.
Chief 2, you up?
Chief 2.
And Chief 3, you eyes up?
Chief 3.
Roger that. Minimum force is met, baby.
So Devil 1 should already be pushing to the corridor right now.
Okay. If I remember correctly, we're, yeah, +5.
Yep, so we're going to start our push from 4 at 0842. Or 0742. At 42.
At 42,
So we
good.
can arrive on time at 45 at 5.
Alright.
So go ahead and start. Well, no, we need to start our turn at 40.
So you want me to start turning now?
Nope. Another minute and 10.
Okay. And then one more time, we should start our push at 4-2 or 4-5.
We're trying to cross 4 at 4-2.
Got it.
To cross 5 at 4-5.
Got it.
Let's go ahead and start that turn now. Yep.
One's pushing corridor.
Dice 2 pushing.
Okay, don't follow the heading bug. Follow the actual course, the arrow directly to the steer point.
Okay.
So come right about 10-15 degrees. You can switch to nav reference.
Okay.
Cowboy 1, start running.
Look at that, 42. So let's go ahead and push 5.
And does 5 begin our running?
Correct. So
Okay.
we got 3 minutes to hit 5. We can also begin our descent. Which you should be able to see those crop circles out there. That's where we need to be on the ground by. Try to keep the airspeed under control. So 540 ground speed commanded right now. Okay, we've got a flight to our 2 o'clock close, about 1,000 foot below us.
I'll shallow out.
Cowboy 3 departing hold. Cowboy 2 departing hold.
See him visual right side?
Ephraim.
We're on pace, just hold the 540.
Okay, I'm increasing.
Gorilla 1, Blackjack.
Go ahead for Gorilla 1.
Upon departing the hold, push button 12.
When departing, hold, pushing button slow.
Did they leave early?
What's up?
Did they leave early? Or are they on time? The other flight that's next to us.
They're a little bit late.
Okay.
We got
Chief
30
three,
seconds
departing
to
hold.
get where we need to be under 7 miles, so
Okay.
they're supposed to be a whole minute ahead of us. Like they should have already been there by now.
Okay.
So they're behind.
I see all crop circles and everything.
Okay, so we're 4 miles out, and okay, so we're 4.5 miles behind. So push it to 540.
Okay.
Actually, push it to 545. Well, 540.
Okay. TU4's coming alive.
Watch the speed.
Yep, I just got these jets in front of me, and I'm trying not to overspeed
I
them.
hear you. Well, we need to be on time. If they're not on time, that's not our problem.
Okay.
We are behind, so we need to be like 550.
Okay, pushing up. .550 set.
So we are 30 seconds behind.
Okay.
Chief 3 pushing.
Cowboy 3 pushing.
Say we're at 1500 radar.
Yeah, it's the TFR.
Okay.
I'm gonna uncouple for now.
Low altitude. Low altitude.
Yep, up that ground speed back up to 550.
Yep.
Low altitude. Low altitude. Low altitude. Low altitude.
Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up.
Low altitude. Low altitude.
Blackjack single group bullseye 30054 26,000 tracks southwest northeast cat. Hostile 2 contacts.
Obstacle ahead. 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 Obstacle ahead.
I can't get the shut up.
Obstacle ahead. Obstacle ahead. Obstacle ahead. Obstacle ahead. Obstacle ahead. Obstacle ahead.
I'll live with it.
Obstacle ahead. Obstacle ahead. Obstacle ahead.
But our ground speed's
Obstacle
only
ahead.
520, dude. We're
Obstacle
falling
ahead.
behind you.
Obstacle ahead. 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 obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle
Watch the
ahead,
airspeed.
obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle
There's time,
ahead,
so we're 4
obstacle
miles behind.
ahead, obstacle
Okay.
ahead,
So
obstacle
keep
ahead,
it at about
obstacle ahead,
550,
obstacle
555.
ahead,
Okay.
obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle
Okay,
ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
Okay.
obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
Bump the speed
obstacle
back up.
ahead,
Yep.
obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
Make it 560.
obstacle ahead,
Okay.
obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
Sorry to put you in an
obstacle
asshole.
ahead,
You're good. You're good.
ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle
I'll cry
ahead,
about it later.
obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle ahead,
I want good
obstacle
hits,
ahead,
good TOT. That's what I'm
obstacle
gunning
ahead,
Yep.
obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle ahead,
You
obstacle
gotta
ahead,
bump it up.
obstacle ahead, obstacle
Okay.
ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle
Okay.
ahead, obstacle
Yeah,
ahead,
let's leave it
obstacle
at
ahead,
560. Sorry,
obstacle
Mr. Ransom.
ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
All right.
obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle ahead,
Okay, we're making it up slowly. We gotta
obstacle
maintain
ahead,
560.
obstacle
Okay.
ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
We were 5
obstacle
miles behind
ahead,
now. We're
obstacle ahead, obstacle
Okay.
ahead, obstacle 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 ahead, obstacle
Alright, can you
ahead,
arm us up? That's
obstacle
the same.
ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
You got it.
ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle
All right, radar
ahead,
sent to
obstacle
standby
ahead,
for time being.
obstacle
We're
ahead,
armed up, master arm on.
ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
Keep up, clear,
obstacle ahead,
obviously on.
obstacle ahead,
Lasers armed.
obstacle ahead,
Copy.
obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle ahead.
I'm gonna go to sleep with this on my hearing this.
Obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
This is
obstacle
where
ahead,
we
obstacle
need to
ahead,
call the critical
obstacle ahead,
flow
obstacle
coming
ahead,
through here. 'Cause this is one
obstacle
of the
ahead, obstacle
vulnerable
ahead,
spots.
Okay,
obstacle
I'm watching.
ahead, obstacle 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 ahead.
I'm working on speed, don't worry.
Obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle ahead,
There's our
obstacle
mark,
ahead,
2.7
obstacle
miles.
ahead,
Keep it tight.
obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle
pump it up to
ahead,
620.
obstacle ahead,
620.
ahead, obstacle 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 ahead,
6:30 will be
obstacle
acceptable.
ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle
Copy.
ahead, obstacle 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 ahead,
Kick it up to 6:30. Again,
obstacle
this
ahead,
next leg is going to be
obstacle
direct
ahead,
IP.
obstacle
So for the
ahead,
last half of this
obstacle
leg, I
ahead,
don't know if you're looking at
obstacle
the
ahead,
TSD.
obstacle
This is
ahead,
your radar spot.
obstacle ahead, obstacle
Okay.
ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle
So
ahead,
make this turn
obstacle
stay low,
ahead,
but
obstacle
before the
ahead,
next steer 11.
obstacle ahead,
Steer 11 is the
obstacle
IP, so
ahead,
you leave your
obstacle
radar.
ahead,
Do the
obstacle
pop-up on the
ahead,
following leg.
obstacle ahead,
Copy.
obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
Write it down to 2
obstacle ahead,
miles. So
obstacle
we're
ahead,
in the right
obstacle
ballpark.
ahead,
Keep it at 6:30.
obstacle ahead, obstacle
Okay.
ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle
Maybe even
ahead,
640.
obstacle
Bring it to
ahead,
640.
obstacle ahead,
Alright.
obstacle
Full
ahead,
burner.
obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle ahead.
No joy on the target with the radar. I'm not going to stay up any longer.
Obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead.
I'm diving back down. Radar standby.
Obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
Level 1, kill
obstacle
test
ahead,
range.
obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle ahead,
Okay,
obstacle
this
ahead,
turn,
obstacle
you're gonna come
ahead,
off, you're gonna make
obstacle
your turn,
ahead,
come off the throttle,
obstacle ahead,
540
obstacle
inbound to the
ahead,
top.
obstacle
Copy.
ahead, obstacle ahead,
615 miles, pop.
obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle ahead.
Make sure the targeting pod's set to 12 point.
Obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
12 decimal.
ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle
3,
ahead,
2, 1,
obstacle
action.
ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle
25.
ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
15.
obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
Copy.
obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
Turning down.
obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
I got CDIP selected.
obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
Okay,
obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
Pods
obstacle
unresponsive.
ahead,
Copy.
obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle ahead.
Good check, good check, good check.
Obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
Pull up, pull up.
I'm
pull up,
diving
pull
straight
up.
down.
obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead.
Select steer point 13 when able. I'm heading there, but select it when you can.
Obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle
Got it.
ahead,
Selected.
obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle.
I'm lining us up on the TSD and we're heading out.
Obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
Get us as
obstacle
uncensored as
ahead,
best you can.
obstacle
Yep.
ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
Threading the
obstacle
two
ahead,
SA-11s on the
obstacle
following
ahead,
leg.
obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
Not this leg, but the
obstacle
next.
ahead,
Gotcha.
obstacle ahead,
Yep,
obstacle
steer 13 to
ahead,
14.
obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle ahead,
actually, it's 14 to
obstacle
15
ahead,
is where we're
obstacle
threading.
ahead,
Okay,
obstacle
well, I'm
ahead,
still lining up.
obstacle ahead, obstacle
That's fine.
ahead, obstacle ahead.
When you're able, you need to call in the BDA. Confirm 2 destroyed targets.
Obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle
All good.
ahead, obstacle ahead,
Sounds good.
obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle.
Coming up on turn.
Obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle ahead,
Okay.
obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
I think we were able to
obstacle
catch it
ahead,
back up to within
obstacle
about 15
ahead,
seconds.
obstacle ahead,
Okay.
obstacle ahead.
Considering where we were, that's much better.
Obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle
Bring up the
ahead,
area radar just to get a
obstacle
picture in
ahead,
front of us.
obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
Radar on.
ahead, obstacle 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 ahead, obstacle.
If you need to use a TSD, let me know. I'm using it right now to make sure I'm getting all as lined up as possible.
Obstacle ahead, obstacle
Yep,
ahead,
you're good.
obstacle ahead,
This
obstacle
next
ahead,
step is going to be the most
obstacle
critical.
ahead,
Yep.
obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle ahead,
Once we cross tier
obstacle ahead,
15, then we can
obstacle
bring you.
ahead,
Yep.
obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle ahead,
Doing
obstacle
great, guys.
ahead,
Give you a background
obstacle
vector.
ahead,
Hmm.
obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle ahead.
Let me know when you no longer need the radar. I'm shutting it off.
Obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
You can take it off.
obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead.
All right, radar standby.
Obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead.
I see this mountain road you have ahead of us.
Obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle ahead.
Man, those 11s popped up and then they disappeared just as fast as they popped up.
Obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead,
I got the twos pulled
obstacle
up as well.
ahead,
Yep.
obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle
Alright, you
ahead,
see that critical,
obstacle ahead,
that
obstacle
line, that
ahead,
north-south line?
obstacle ahead,
That's to the left of
obstacle
us?
ahead,
Yes.
obstacle
That's the
ahead,
engine container. Do
obstacle
not
ahead,
pass to the
obstacle
east of that.
ahead, obstacle ahead,
But go ahead and,
obstacle ahead,
you can start your
obstacle
climb out now.
ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle
So,
ahead,
gradual climb back
obstacle
up to
ahead,
10,000, you can slow
obstacle
down.
ahead,
Okay.
obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead.
Our pathing shouldn't impact the container, correct?
Obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle
Correct, it
ahead,
shouldn't, but
obstacle
I'm just saying,
ahead,
be advised that
obstacle
that's what the
ahead,
container is.
obstacle
Okay.
ahead, obstacle ahead,
awareness sake.
obstacle ahead.
All right, we're ahead. We're back up to 10,000.
Obstacle ahead, 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 obstacle ahead,
Hang on, I gotta check my radio frequency.
obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead, obstacle ahead.
Blackjack G2.
I found the audio switch.
Blackjack Cowboy 2 is out, good effects. Request permission to push tower.
Cowboy 2, push back. Excuse me, push tower.
Push tower, Cowboy 2, it's good.
Blackjack Dice 2 is with you. Bullseye 218 for 14. Aspect.
You want to call them back in? See if they pick up?
Yep, stand by.
Stacy 2, so you're off the check again.
Bullseye 208 for 16.
Stacy 2, I'm clean there.
Bull south 20 miles. 21,000.
Did you by chance eat any AAA?
Not that I know of. Everything looks good in the cockpit.
We look good as well. We done good.
The only thing is, I don't know how to read our bullseye.
It's on the HUD.
Is it the
Yeah,
bottom right
still
of that?
getting
17325?
nothing.
Correct.
188 for 23.
Yep, that's us.
I'll
17.
wait for,
Okay.
I'll wait for Dice 2 to shiz check in.
Okay.
Dice 2 sandwiched between two low flyers at 12,000.
Oh, I feel his pain right now. Sometimes
Yeah,
the
Dice 2,
scope
when I
just
put that
doesn't show
message
it.
on you, go ahead and hold hands with Cowboy. And Cowboy 2-1. And go ahead and switch to the tower.
Switching now is tower. Dice 2. Blackjack, Cowboy 3 bullseye 18123 at 11,000, sending at successful and requesting push tower.
Cowboy 3-2, excuse 3-1, push tower.
We got 43 miles till tower, till airport.
Yep, slow it down.
I am.
Blackjack. What's our call sign?
Chief 2.
Blackjack Chief 2.
GT sent.
Times 2, target destroyed.
Chief 2 is mission complete, times 2, target destroyed, counter AAA on the egress.
Blackjack copies, push tower when ready.
Push tower. Chief. It happened. I pushed the talk and everything.
It's all good. Alright, let's switch tower and let's land this sucker.
I'm full profile, city arrival.
Roger that, Cowboy 1-1. I got you on my scope.
I'm fencing out.
You are cleared to vector behind Devil 1-1 for a visual runway 03 left.
We're fenced out with 12 miles, or 12,000 pounds.
L Tower, Cowboy 2, bullseye 143 for 49. Descending through 11,000.
Cowboy 2 maintains.
You want me to intercept that?
For runway 03 left.
Yep, come right for the intercept.
Copy.
So come right about
Maintain
160.
city visual 3 left, Cowboy 2.
Descend when able, maintain 6,500 or better.
Okay.
Actually, you
Chief
might
Flight,
want to wait
Dallas
till
Tower,
over,
confirm holding hands.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna intercept and then start.
till over the ridge.
Yep.
Dice 2 is up high, 22,000. We can get whatever altitude you need us.
Nope, that looks good for
Alright.
city visual for runway 03 left.
Buddy Spike F-16.
City visual, 03 left.
Devil 1-1, exit the runway at left side, earliest convenience, switch ground to
Tower Cowboy 2, 12 miles.
Devil 1
Slow the fuck down.
I am.
Holy shit.
Cowboy 1-1, Cowboy 1-2, you are clear to land, runway 03 left.
Cowboy 1 flag, clear to land, 03 left. Double 1.
Mills Tower, Chief 2 with you. Bullseye 145, 56. 9,000.
Chief 2-2, radar contact. Report 12 miles in.
412, Chief 2.
I'm descending to 6-5 or better.
Sounds perfect.
Nellis Tower, Cowboy 2, 4 miles, has airfield site.
Cowboy 2, you are cleared to Vector 2 and land, runway 03 left.
Clear to Vector and land, runway 3 left. Cowboy 2.
Stepped on.
12 miles.
Try again.
Dice 2, continuous city visual.
Dice 2.
Mills
Cowboy
Tower,
flight
Chief 2.
negative, runway on the left, and switch ground 275.8.
Dive 1 flight, left on Echo, switch ground, thanks.
Slow down if you can.
I am.
Mills Tower, Chief 2 reporting 9.5.
Nellis Tower copies.
You said maintain 5,000.
Yep.
Cowboy 2 flight, you are clear to land, runway 03 left.
Clear to land, flight 03 left, Cowboy 2.
3, 2, 1.
Chief 2-2, Vector for lineup, runway 03 left.
Chief 2.
Started a little too early.
Doing the 4 mile arc.
Cowboy
Yeah.
flight F8 will turn left next taxiway, contact ground.
Started a little too early.
5.8.
Yeah, you're fine.
Turn next taxiway, ground 127.8.
Alright.
Go ahead and configure if you're not already.
For
Slow down, collapse gear, no overhead.
alright, runway to side, nav fleet coming off.
Dice 2, set position when able.
Wheels down, flaps down.
Dice 2 is close to the airfield here.
It's 03 left.
We're
Correct.
south of 03 left.
Running in.
Chief 2, turning base final, gear down.
Dice 2 traffic in sight, base is final. We'll stop.
Chief, you are clear to land, runway 03 left.
Clear to land, 03 left, Chief 2.
Tower, Cowboy 3, Hazel inbound.
Clear to land,
Dice flight, I'm going to need
make
you
it
all
count.
to go around, flight runway heading for 20 miles.
I got a big runway too.
Dice 2 going around.
Not my finest landing, but we're down.
Correct, 20 miles.
Oh, okay, my worst landing.
I'm not gonna say yeah.
That was definitely not good, but we didn't die, and we didn't spin out, and no one has to see anything.
Can you take the CFR off so we can stop hearing about all the obstacles?
No, it's off. Or it might be on standby.
Perfect.
No, that's what I was saying. Like, I couldn't do anything. Do I turn left? Or is it... It's right.
Roll it out. Roll it out to the end.
Turn left next taxiway, contact ground 275.8.
Ground point 8. Chief 2.
Tower 3,
Ground point 8.
Cowboy 3, non-standard formation on day.
Yep, hang a left.
Oh, left. Okay. I'm all types of turned around.
Left. Now.
Yep, I'm following the lines out.
Okay. Nell's down, Chief 2 with you on Echo.
Chief 2, Nellis ground. Taxi via Echo Foxtrot to the ramp. Maintain correction, monitor this frequency.
Echo Foxtrot to the ramp, Chief 2.
What ramp? Do you remember our ramp?
We'll go back to row 15 where we parked before.
Okay.
So you're looking for a left-hand turn up here on the Foxtrot.
I see it. See, now I'm really glad you taught me about all these signs and stuff and how they have purposes and...
Yeah, they're not just eye candy. They're there for a reason.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Unless of course you just like land and like despawn on the runway. You know?
Yeah, well...
Like 90% of the DCS players.
Yeah.
Your boards are out.
Dang it! Nothing was good about this landing.
Like I said, I ain't saying shit.
Well, this is all getting recorded, so the whole world's gonna see it. It's alright. We did the important part. We got back pretty much on target. We'll have to see. And we were able to get our bombs on. So.
Yeah, I'm not mad. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm not mad.
Yeah, neither am I. Talk about stressful, though. And then this thing won't stop talking, and I was like, great. I finally, after we dropped the bombs, we were scot clean. I found out that the weapon knob, volume knob, also counts as turns it down. So it turned it all the way down for me. I still hear it, but it's quiet.
Interesting.
Yep. And then
So we are on Foxtrot, so just continue on Foxtrot. You see the numbered signs on the left?
Yep.
Shutting down things.
We are going to be row 15, so it's a bit of a hike.
Alright, well. Hey man, I just dropped a bunch of bombs while taking fire, so I can taxi all day long. That wasn't the worst DME I've ever done. Wasn't the best, but...
Technically, they told us to vector for approach. They didn't tell us to do the... They actually didn't tell us to fly the arrival, ironically enough. Did you notice that?
Yeah, no, I was like... I don't know. That's fine. I did it anyways.
We did what we needed to do. We're good.
Yep. I'm staring at TF radar off, and it keeps on telling me obstacle ahead.
If only the circuit breakers worked back here.
Yeah, no, you yank it clean.
Good day.
Alright, let's pick this back up.
Ground Cowboy 3 flight with you at clear 3 left in Delta.
Cowboy 3, Nellis ground. Taxi to the ramp via Delta Foxtrot, monitor this frequency.
I have done
Cowboy 3, taxi to Berkeley 3 left.
dozens of pop-up attacks, and that was the first one where I was like, oh, I got you. Actually, after this is like actually matters now.
I'm so glad you got seated because I didn't set up a profile for it.
I did. So the pilot can change the symbology in the HUD, and so if you look at the HUD repeater, it says in command. The pilot just sets it in command, and then you can hit auto acquisition. It's either up or down. I know what the button is on here. I don't know what it is, but then it changes from auto to CDIP, or vice versa. It'll just cycle through the two, and so.
I am so glad that worked.
Yep. Because I was like, all right, well, this thing is just gonna be a dumb bomb drop, and I can do that all day long.
Well, let the general public and whoever watches this video know I am the world's worst backseater.
It's okay.
Literally just a backseat driver, giving my pilot grief.
We got on target though, so it's all good. I was thinking about it though before you said sorry for being an asshole. I was like, man, he got the fangs out today, but I was like, he did say he's gonna be backseat driver, and I'd rather have that because then keeps us going.
Gotta keep us honest.
Yep. Who is?
All right. So
okay.
what we're looking for is we're on 15. Means we're gonna make the right-hand turn right about 16.
Okay.
Like right after 16. So.
Okay. I imagine I just follow these orange lines out.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for flying Trans Tragedy Airlines. We hope you've enjoyed your time with us.
I'm very pleased overall with how things went, though.
Same. That could have been a whole hell of a lot worse.
Yep, and then when I saw the AAA fire, I was like, uh-oh.
This is your turn.
Oh, there's no lines for me. That's sad.
So I told you gotta be kind of...
Yeah. All good.
Be making the left turn.
It is right here where the Viper is, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Park to the left of the Viper, outside the shelter.
Okay. Perfect.
Watch this guy come in and land.
Float. Oh, there he goes. I was so worried about me floating too. And that was my biggest concern.
Copy.
Echo Foxtrot, Chief 3.
Was that I was floating too much, and so I just pushed the nose down, which I know is a no-no, but I was like, I'm not going around. We're touching down. And then I tried to aero brake, and then I just lifted back off, and I was like, all right, we're stopping. I'm making the rule now. We're done.
Nels
But
ground chief 2 in parking row 15. Thanks for work.
See ya. Alright, I'm hopping out and going into Discord.
Copy. Be right behind you.
Okay. Shutting the jet down and all that.
Pun intended. Get it? I'm behind you.